YNW Melly retrial has now been delayed once again, which now gives Melly's lawyers more time for him to be released on bond until trial begins. It all begins with the report of, and I quote, YNW Melly's retrial has been delayed till February 5th, 2024, as this new delay is now based around the new jury being taken off of his trial this week. This was very creative lawyer work done by YNW Melly's team, so then they can work on a release date. To understand further and when, we're gonna need to dive deep into YNW Melly's ex-lawyer, who has now just done an interview answering the question on why the judge has delayed the trial.
Let me ask you about what the judge did here. Were you surprised that the judge just, got rid of the whole jury panel, basically sided with the defense? Why do you think he did that?
I think that the judge doesn't want this to come back in appeal, so he's going over and above of what you normally see, because he knows if this is a not guilty, the state can't appeal it, right? There's no appeal from the state. It would only be if this is a guilty, it would be an appeal from the defense. So a lot of judges go over and above for a defendant to make sure that they eliminate all possible appellate issues.
From YNW Melly's perspective, the pro is there is now lots of time to build up new evidence proving that he's innocent alongside a chance of receiving a bond. However, the new negative is that if YNW Melly is found guilty, he will likely now no longer be able to appeal this case. The retrial is now an all-in situation for YNW Melly and YNW Portland. With the trial now delayed, Melly's lawyers are working around a case dismissal due to his rights being violated. As it all begins when it was announced, YNW Melly's lead attorney, Jamie Benjamin, filed a second motion to dismiss for government and prosecutor misconduct in violation of the defendant's due process rights with the Broward clerks on Monday, November 1st. As YNW Melly has a very high chance of release, all due to his rights being violated per the 14th Amendment.
Have added Christine Bradley, the prosecutor herself, to the witness list, and 5 other attorneys from the state attorney's office who they say knew about the situation. That's 7 attorneys from the state attorney's office. Because of this, Melly's attorneys are saying keeping Christine Bradley and this state attorney's office on this case is not only a conflict of interest, it's actually a violation of Melly's right to due process, which is a part of the 14th Amendment.
However, there's only one thing now standing in YNW Melly's way from receiving a bond, as after his lawyers submitted the case dismissal form, the prosecutors then released a never-before-seen video of YNW Melly, where the report goes and reads, "This is the video we requested from prosecutors in the state of Florida versus Jamel Demons. We have the honor of representing the family of Christopher Thomas, aka YNW Juvie. Melly's defense attorneys filed for a motion for protective order to prevent me from obtaining this video. The video was on Melly's cell phone. It was recorded a month after he allegedly got his 2 friends. It doesn't show a man in mourning or even seeking answers for his lost friends, and instead, it mocks them, if not takes credit for doing this through false expression."
No regrets for the shit I did. That also mean for the nigga. Yeah. 4:30 a.m. Never say when.
As this is all connected into YNW Melly's new charges. This is all due to basically YNW Portland that Melly is facing all of these new additional charges.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As YNW Portland was arrested for witness tampering charges last week. While he was outside, his house was raided by the feds and they found insane paperwork against Portland and Melly.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Portland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law&Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Portland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with a witness.
Bryson Paul would then share more context onto the new crimes, where it states, "Here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home last week, filed into Broward clerks by the state." Alongside these photos here, as YNW Bortlen had to show up to Melly's original trial for one day to speak with the judge. When arriving, he ended up looking over to where the jury was sitting, and he had a mental note in his head of exactly what every single person looked like. Once going home, Bortlen would detail on a piece of paper where certain jurors were sitting, alongside a description of what they looked like. To understand how serious this is, here is DJ Akademiks' reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, god damn. Holy sh**. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
As this situation would go mega viral online, the following day, YNW Juvie's father would then do an emergency interview with Law&Crime, where Juvie's father would then expose how YNW Melly and Bortlen were truly witness tampering, and even what code words they used to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him during the original trial, which once again is highly illegal if the prosecutors can prove that this is true.
Both Melly, Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Bortlen, are now charged with witness tampering. It sounds like the prosecutors are saying there was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Saying like to me, they're going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
Juvie's father would then bring up another situation that needs to be investigated, as he would reveal what happened on the morning of the crime from his point of view, as he woke up, checked his cell phone, and had to drive down to law enforcement to go tell them that that was YNW Juvie that sadly passed. However, before heading over to the police station, YNW Melly's mother called him and told him something very weird.
He wasn't, he had switched vehicles. At least that's what they said in the first trial, that he had gotten into, it was suggested through a defense witness, the one and only defense witness, that he had gotten into that other vehicle.
Yeah, they was telling me that I drove down there that morning to go identify Chris. I met Moretti down there that morning, other 26. And on the way down there, when I talked to Jamie, she told me the same thing. Like, don't talk to the media and tell them Melly wasn't there. Instantly, my antennas went up because I didn't understand. Like, I knew from that day, I knew something was up.
As Juvie's father is dropping insane evidence that we've never even heard before, he would then end the interview off on a more emotional note, where he would share the last moment that he saw Christopher and how he was with YNW Melly, including on how the trial is also affecting his family.
Last time I spoke to Chris was like 2 days before the incident. Him and Melly FaceTimed me, and that's the last time I saw him. Last time I spoke to him was like that same week, man. It just hurt me to see that the love that he had for Melly to do that to him. I see if it was one of his enemies or somebody, he did something wrong or something, but the way it happened, how it happened, who did it, it just heartbreaking on both sides.
All of this legal wrangling that's leading to a delay in the second trial, how are you?
I'm taking it one day at a time. You know, you got to go through this process once again. I'll relive it once again.
As it can definitely not be a coincidence that only a week after a new lead prosecutor is added to Melly's trial, all of this new evidence is being leaked that he can now use to build an even better case against YNW Melly. As even 3 weeks ago, a friend of late King Von, being an O-Block resident named Jay Hood, would do an interview on No Jumper, where he would reveal something completely unexpected, as Vaughn may have mentioned a little too much to a group of people that live in O-Block.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he killed his two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Where he would reveal that YNW Sack Chaser and Juvie were going after Melly for financial gain. The new lead prosecutor, Stephen Klinger, can now add all of this new evidence with the already existing evidence, which is pretty severe, with the most serious evidence being from Sergeant Williams that would reveal, after investigating the vehicle, there is no way this could have been a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive-by. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. The at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that killed Christopher Thomas, where did that emanate from?
Driver's side back seat.
Okay. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.
Then a man named Trayvon Glass would then reveal the truth, as Trayvon was at the recording studio. However, he went home inside of the red van that was parked beside Melly's Jeep. According to Trayvon, the plan was for them to all meet back at fellow rapper Fredo Bang's house. The red car arrived at his house, however, Melly's Jeep never came. The record would show that only Bortland took Sack Chaser and Juvie to the hospital after the incident. The prosecutors covered that Melly ended up FaceTiming Fredo Bang to pick him up off of the side of the street.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
With Melly arriving at Fredo's, Trayvon noticed that Melly had a change of clothing from when he left the recording studio, as we would hear during the trial.
Was that the first time you saw Melly after you guys left the studio?
Yeah.
Was Melly wearing the same clothes or different clothes than when you saw him at the studio?
It was a new day. Nah, he wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. You guys
wasn't wearing the same clothes.
Okay. Do you recall what he was wearing?
Just had on some shorts.
This, without a doubt, made Melly look extremely bad to the jury. However, moments later, the prosecutors would share text messages from Melly's phone, where he literally admits to doing the crime.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02, the YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.